Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now this is a general reading for the sign in the title below because this is a bulk introduction. As ever, there'll be a timestamp down below so that you can watch more than one and get past all my waffle. Because I'd like you to watch your sun, your moon and your rising, especially rising. Sun and rising, most importantly, moon as well, because that can influence sort of the way that you're feeling, the more internal inside stuff. But anyway, on I think it's 30th of June, so Monday, the second of 3 Jupiter Pluto conjunctions go exact. So at the moment Jupiter is retrograde, so it's gone past Pluto, it's coming back again, it's going to go straight past, and then later in the year it's going to go past again and conjoin one last time. So we're in the middle of the story. I've already done the readings because I often think after I go through the zodiac readings, I normally do the intro first, then do the readings, and then I'm like, oh, I want to do an epilogue. I want to do a comment on the themes that I've seen coming out. So I thought, well, why not do the intro second? It's very much we are being tasked to work. We are taking things on board. Our roles are being made clear to us. And when I say that, they're being made clear to us by us or the planets, but it's not like it's getting imposed in from on high. It's all like activating soul contracts and all the hippie stuff, but you know, it's where you feel right, where you have the ability to take power in your own world and just work hard. We are all going to be working the land. Now, just a note, from Aries through till, I didn't realise until Sagittarius, so Aries through Scorpio, I got the houses sort of wrong. So unless you use an equal sign system and your sun, moon or rising sign is 24 degrees or past, where I said the first house, it would, where I said the second house, it would be the first. Where I said the third house, it would be the second, and so on and so forth. But I'm sure there was a reason for it because I sat down and I worked it out, and then somewhere along the line it got mixed up. So ignore what I say about houses in terms of the astrology, but don't ignore it in terms of the reading that I give you, because there will be a reason for it. There will be a reason that, you know, it's either not going to affect the reading at all, or it's going to help me shape the reading that I give to you. As a general reading rules apply. You know, roles can be reversed, timing's hardly absolute, and hey, this one's going to last us till, I think it's either October or December, the next conjunction. I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's December. You can ask a question before this reading, so if you want to do that, pause the video, think about all the questions that are around you, be aware of all of them, pick one of them, focus on it to put energy into the process, and hopefully I will return that energy to you. And if I don't, the universe will somehow. I am not going to guarantee that your question gets answered, or that the question you choose is the one that gets answered, because the cards will answer what they want and not necessarily what you and I. So that's why I say be aware of all of the questions. Now, what I am going to do is read the symbols of this degree. So from inside degrees, 24 degrees something is the 25th degree of Capricorn. And in inside degrees, the image is a woman wearing a mask made out of butterfly wings. Now that immediately leads me to, okay, wearing a mask, adopting a role, hiding something, fighting crime, you know, because of course I would think that way. Butterfly wings, transformation, spirituality. You know, it's literally a mask composed of souls, which can be a good thing. I would hope it's a good thing. You know, it's like taking on board the qualities and the duties and responsibilities of civil rights campaigners who passed before us, or environmental activists who passed before us, whoever. So, a woman wearing a mask made out of butterfly wings, wrapped about in customary trappings, made to look and act the part superbly, programmed to do everything on cue. Taking yourself in hand and subordinating all other factors to ambition, power and worldly position, in a premeditated, systematic, super-orderly fashion, fitting the role. So good at this you fool yourself. The perfect wraparound setup of simply turning yourself into what everyone needs to see. There's definitely two ways you can interpret all of this. The perfect wraparound setup of simply turning yourself in is what everyone sees, yeah. But because there is so much manipulation and control in it, this can become highly corrupted. It all depends on the motivation. At best, you will become a viable role model for a given set of characteristics of an advanced kind to be embodied perfectly. But at worst, you will deceive and beguile and manoeuvre so smoothly that no one will know who you serve, who your master is, and where this all comes from at all. Now, Astrotheme says it is in an amphitheatre, an arrow is shot by an invisible hand. So it's taking aim, practice. It's the manoeuvring of spirit in your life. I could waffle for ages, especially that mask one. There is an element of fake it till you make it. There is an element of do not deceive yourself. There is an element of I can see that this needs to be done, and I can see that this is the person I need to be in order to get it done. So have a look at each reading, see what you think. Obviously, I'm going to ask you to like the videos if you do like them. Subscribe if you like what you see, because the subscribes and the like buttons really do help the video and the channel irrespectively, sorry. And comment, because it's always good to receive your feedback. Sometimes YouTube is a bit slow to alerting me that I have the comments, but you know, I will get back to you sometimes as late as 3 weeks later, but I try to do it quicker than that. I really do. But in the meantime, I think that's everything I've got to say. Oh yes, down below, details about the reading, obviously, details of how to contact me, and a link to a Facebook group where I post these videos and the astrology videos I watch, and various other things that I find of interest. So I don't really use the community tab, but one thing I would ask with this one also, I'm thinking about starting to do live streams, so let me know if you're interested in that. And obviously I'm still working on, although I haven't done any for a week or so, Chinese and Western zodiac combinations. So again, comment and let me know if there's any I need to put on my list. All right, I'll bring up the cards. And welcome Sagittarius Rising and Sagittarius Moon if you've just joined us after the timestamp. And if you are Sagittarius Rising, this is occurring in your second house, and it's also made me realise that I've got all the houses one house out up until I got to this reading, but hey ho. But that's interesting, one bit of confusion gets cleared up and another one comes into play, because all the time that I was shuffling, it's like my mind kept slipping off of it. I like to focus on my question as I was shuffling, just as I would tell any querent who's coming to me with a question, focus on your question, as I will be saying, or have already said, depending on where you watch this, in my introduction video, which I haven't filmed yet. But my mind kept wandering off it's almost like I couldn't hold on to it, and I had to keep bringing myself back to it and bringing myself back to it. And there's an element of avoidance being seen in these cards here. So the messages I'm getting here really are time to up your game, time to make a decision, time to open your eyes and pay attention, and not necessarily just react defensively. We have the Four of Pentacles here with the Four of Spheres here. Now, the Four of Spheres, and one would assume the Four of Pentacles, according to this, is based on King Midas. The character who is said to stand behind this card is the classical King Midas, whose touch turned everything to gold, but whose luck turned after he became greedy and possessive of his riches when he accidentally touched his daughter and turned her into a golden statue. The lesson to be learned here goes all the way back through human history. We should examine our attitude to wealth and possessions to ensure that they don't bind us to the earth. And I'll just read the quatrain, the couplets from this. Great confusion about the undertaking, loss of generations, uncounted treasure. So, I feel like you've been trying to toe a middle path. You've been trying to keep a middle way, and it's almost like I'm feeling like you should commit to something, and you should commit to something of the highest ideals. We've got 2 sevens here, so angel number 77, which I'm sure is a positive thing, but the 2 sevens here is telling me tell the truth, be aware of the truth, consider others in your actions, and maybe don't be quite as defensive, because just because you don't know what's going on doesn't mean you can't do the right thing. Now, the couplet for the Hanged Man card was something along the lines of a weak man. Oh, what was it? A weak man who should be laid low will be raised on high. Something like that. In a twinkling, a false weak man from low to high will be quickly raised. Now, I'm not saying that that's you, but I am maybe saying that that's your priorities if you're not careful. I feel like you are going to immediately want to defend, protect what is yours. And I'm not sure that that is the best of ideas here, because protection in and of itself is not a concept that will guide you here. It will not take you to the right place. You have the ability to access great power. You know, your urge to seek a middle path means that you can balance things. But with this Two of Swords, I mean, I love this Two of Swords. It's like she's taking hold of those two swords to steer the universe. You know, it's okay, she's not exactly holding the swords aloft, but, you know, it's taking that power. And there should be no reason for her to see, but I'm getting that full on you're ignoring something vibe with this Two of Swords. It's almost like because you're ignoring something, that power that you can take hold of is beyond your reach. This is clarified by the Devil card. First time he has turned up in all of his second lot of Jupiter-Pluto conjunction readings. So this is why I think, yes, you're... Oh, okay. I did shuffle them off camera, but I wanted to deal them on camera. Two of Pentacles, Three of Wands. Okay, so if there's a disagreement that you've had with somebody, try and sort that one out. You are able to move forward if you have an honest understanding of the events that have led up unto this point, because you have a lot of power. You have a lot of material world power here. You have the chance of going you have a chance of moving to a better place, but it is treacherous. But it is worth it for you to take that risk, I think, is the way that it's saying. Right, Page of Coins here, Page of Pentacles here. You have to level up. And you have to be aware that it's all a dance, it's all a performance. So you don't have to protect everything that you are wanting to protect, when that way leads you more to go into your lower nature. So take that risk, make that stand, but in the most peaceful way possible, because this the quatrain for this Six of Moons, no, that's not it, here we go, where two malignancies, okay, bear in mind this is an Old English translation of Latin, I think, or French, where two malignities of the Scorpion conjoin, the great lord is murdered in his room. Which also implies to me a power vacuum. So maybe you should not be defending yourself against the power vacuum, but you could step into it and level up as these cards. Now, it was slow progress, Knight of Coins here. So Page of Coins, Knight of Coins, but again, there's that page to the Knight. There's that things getting better. Slowly, but getting better nonetheless. But you have to not let those lower qualities win. This is the first time there's been anything sort of on a more negative side, because this is all warnings about what not to do. Because you don't know everything at the moment, but yet again, Seeker of Crystals, it is time for you to level up and accept that there are things that you do not know. Now, there's certain things that you are being deliberately blind to. Now, it may be that you don't know them, or it may be that you're aware that you don't know them, but you're ignoring that fact. Or it may be that there is something that you do know and you're just not paying any attention to it. La, 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 not listening. Which isn't actually going to bring you the clarity. So on this, the King of Wands immediately revealed itself, but Ace of Swords on the bottom of this deck. There is clarity to be had here if you use your strength to break the chains that you have put around yourself. But from that position of being chained, there has been, think here, she's trapped in a spider's web. Now think how a spider's web works. The slightest vibration sends, the slightest movement, sorry, sends vibrations down the strands of the web to the spider, who can feel where it's coming from and where the prey has landed. Don't be the prey. Be the person feeling the vibrations of the web. There is definitely a call to stand up and, Five of Cups here, accept what has been lost, because there is a union coming if you make the choice for it. Two of Cups here, the Lovers here, and with the other duality card that we have obviously is the Chariot. But I think you are in a position where you can no longer choose a middle path. But at the end of it, we have, because excess cards wanted to fall out, and so I never really reject them, unless it's just way too many. We have the Astrologer of Spheres, which is very much, there's your Nostradamus card right there. I forget what it says in the book, but it's very much someone who is in a position to receive all the understanding of all the various motions that are around them. But you need to bring the change that you want. You need a little bit of strategy, and you need to have a dream guiding your actions. And there has to be a doing away with some secrets, whatever they are. Now, it may not be that they're your secrets. It may be that someone else has a secret that you that needs to be revealed to you, which you won't necessarily know. But I say you won't necessarily know, but I think you know if it's there. And that's the bit where you've been going la la la, not listening, with this Two of Swords here. But if you do start listening, if you do start opening your eyes, feeling the vibrations of the web, trying to free yourself from it, then that is where the keys to power are for you. Now, this is all preparing. A lot of these readings so far have had a goal at the end. This is just a step on the path. So maybe with the what is being, I can't remember what was in your first Jupiter Pluto conjunction reading, but I think this might be one that this a storyline that reaches more of a culmination in your final one. Is it December, October or December when they next conjoin? Anyway, tread carefully. You don't have to be defensive, but you do need to open your eyes and free yourself from imposed rules, imposed webs that don't matter. They don't matter at all. But I think you need to look at your priorities, and you may find that you've been putting false importance on some priorities. So if this means anything to you, Sagittarius, comment down below, and your next readings will be your monthlies. All right, cheers.